that's all I ever do. Been hitting it, getting it, giving it, living them working man blues. Working on that check, working on that twerking, man, it still ain't working yet. Hey, can I get a little amen? Anybody been where I've been? Hey, it just don't stop when you punch that clock. Gotta rock on right through the weekend. Gotta keep on keeping on. Gotta keep that percolator perking. Gotta wheel, gotta weigh, gotta hang, gotta howl. And right now I'm just working on a big buzz.
Hello, my name is Shane Oates. This webinar is totally free, and I want to thank you for taking the time to check it out. I would like to tell you a little about myself and why I got involved in the subject matter of this webinar. I hope you can hear me because I don't try to do it, but I'm sure you can hear the twang in my speech. I am not an actor, and I have had no voiceover or dictation training, but I would like to ask you a couple of questions. Okay, now to tell you about my past and why I got started in this opportunity. April 16th, 2016 marked the 26th anniversary of a car accident from which nobody believed I would survive. The doctors really expected me to die, or at best live as a vegetable confined to a bed and hooked up to life support machines. As a matter of fact, very few people gave me much of a chance of surviving the multitude of injuries I suffered when, as a 20-year-old, I was broadsided as I drove my girlfriend to work. The accident broke 13 of my ribs, 3 of which penetrated my lungs. My left collarbone was broken, my left shoulder was dislocated, and my head went through the driver's side window of the car, which led to my jaw being shattered into 63 pieces and causing a traumatic brain injury that resulted in my remaining in a coma for 61 days. The recovery was and still is very, very difficult. It has taken me through multiple surgeries in 2 different hospitals, and in the beginning, more than 18 months of a vigorous regimen of therapies, because I had to relearn how to walk, talk, and even eat, as you can probably imagine, since my jaw had to be wired back together. Now, as far as the endless rehabs and excruciating pain goes, I thought it would never end. Well, fast forward about 25 years, and arthritis has set in pretty bad, along with other residual effects that still limited my mobility and coordination. I had been unable to find steady employment. Most of all, the jobs that I have actually been fortunate enough to get have all been low income, temp to hire type positions. I would like to introduce you to Misty and Rhett Keith. And in Misty's own words, she says that 2014 was awful for her family. One of the guys renting a house from her quit paying rent in May of 2013, Misty's family ended up losing close to $8,000 in income. And that didn't even include all of the court fees and late fees or any of the other money that Rhett spent paying the extra mortgage for all of those months. Misty says that anyone and everyone that knows them knows that their kids didn't even get a single thing for Christmas in 2014. And on top of that, they rarely got to see Misty's oldest son, Jared, who only lives about an hour's drive away from their house. They were also missing all of the out-of-town school events for their daughter, Carly. And because it was all they could afford, their only source of nutrition was potatoes. Misty says that sometime in March of 2015, she started seeing April and Scooby Williams post on Facebook about Limu. She also said, and I quote, "I won't lie, I thought they had lost their dang minds." Misty also says that's when disaster struck her family again, emotionally, physically, and financially, when their youngest son, Amos, fell into a burn pile. He was transported from their hospital there in Hamilton to a children's hospital in Temple, Texas. He had multiple surgeries, and for multiple weeks, they were selling chickens just to buy gas to get to all those procedures. God blessed them by healing their son, but they had yet another financial setback. And Misty says, "I was seriously going to have to get a job before all those hospital bills started piling up." Misty invited my mom to a BYOB party, and I went just to visit. I had no interest in the BYOB part of the party. Turns out I was very interested in Misty's version of BYOB, that being Be Your Own Boss. So I signed up that day, August 15th, 2015. A couple of weeks later, I went into my garage to finish cleaning, and after a few hours of working, I got thirsty and tried the Blue Frog, which didn't impress me much. But after a couple more hours of working in that hot garage, again I got thirsty and decided to try the Blue Frog too. Well, this was a game changer. I liked it. And within 30 minutes, I actually felt more energized than I did before I started cleaning. That's when I decided to go to my first Limu Live in Fort Worth, Texas. Please keep in mind what I told you about arthritis setting in. If you or anybody you know has arthritis, I'm sure you know how painful that is. After drinking the Limu Original shots for a couple of weeks, I noticed that my arthritis wasn't bothering me near as much. I honestly don't believe I've had even the slightest amount of arthritic joint pain in the last 3 months. Oh, and I also wanted to tell you about this. One of the leaders in Limu issued a friendly challenge to try the Limu Lean shakes back in November of 2015. I accepted the challenge and stepped on the scales. And I weighed 210 pounds. I didn't really take it very seriously. It's suggested that you replace one meal a day with a shake, and I might only actually do 2 or 3 a week. But taking that into consideration, I think it works pretty well. I got back on the scales on my birthday, February 3rd, 2016, and I only weighed 185 pounds. That's a loss of 25 pounds in about 3 months. Now, I think if you were to take a poll and ask the general population what the biggest problem is in the world, I'm willing to bet that 2 of the leading answers would be health and wealth. Well, I have found the answer and solution to both of those, and that is Limu. My name is Shane Oates. I am a TBI survivor, and I am Limu. Let me ask you a question. Is what you're doing today going to get you where you want to be tomorrow? If it is, wonderful, and I wish you the best of luck. But if you answered no, would you please comment below or PM me with your name, phone number, and a good time and day to call? I would be very happy to find out if this could help you. I know I've already asked this first question, but I'd like to ask it again and rephrase it just a little bit. Is what you're doing today going to get you where you want to be tomorrow, or do you keep your options open? If your answer to the first part of that question was yes, then this is not for you. I say congratulations and bid you farewell. Bye. But isn't it funny how day by day nothing changes, but when you look back, everything is different? Now, if you're content with the amount of money you're already making, this would not interest you, and I don't want to waste your time. But if earning an extra couple of $100 up to several thousands of extra dollars, and you could do that per month, if that sounds like something you might be interested in hearing more about. But please understand, I'm not stupid, and I certainly don't think you are either. I'm not a genie. I can't magically create that kind of income for you. It does take some work, but if you do something, you can achieve success. Now, if you answered no to that first question, I truly believe you need to listen to question number 2. And question number 2 is, if not now, when? After that question, you're probably thinking, what? Yeah, you heard me correctly. If not now, when? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different outcome. Well, if what you're doing right now is not going to get you where you want to be, why not try something else? Hey, I need to wrap this up for now. But if I have found a way that while using the internet and or your smartphone and in your spare time, you could make a whole lot of extra money, would you want to take a look at it or at least want to hear more about it? Obviously, if you're not interested, I most definitely don't want to waste your time. But if you can schedule some time this weekend or a weekday or even a night, if that'd be better for you, if you'd like to hear more information about an opportunity that can build an income for you, like I've talked about here, please send an email to lubbocklimu@gmail.com. Be sure to include your name, phone number, and a good time and day to call. There should be a link to that email address somewhere around this video. Thank you, and I hope to hear from you. Goodbye.